Hello everyone, I'm Julianne, and today along with my partners, Arlette and Sol, we're going to be presenting research presented by the catalytic transformation of carbohydrates into renewable organic chemistry by revering the principles of green chemistry, which is the research article we chose to present on. So before we even get into the nitty-gritty of what the article is really studying, we need to get out of the way what is green chemistry. So green chemistry is a term that was first coined in the 90s by the Environmental Protection Agency, and since then they've really kind of refined this definition to mean the design of chemical products and processes that reduce or eliminate the use or generation of hazardous substances. So you can see there's quite a few principles, but we're really going to zone in on the prevention of waste, the creation and usage of safer chemicals and products, maximizing energy efficiency, and preventing or reducing pollution. So the article also kind of talks about carbohydrate feedstock, which is really important to select the right one. There's first generation, second generation, and third generation. First generation refers to the starchy food crops, which are pretty well studied just because it's more established and has been around the longest. And the thing about this is it can threaten food security, and it requires lots of energy, land, water, and materials. We also have second generation, which refers to the non-food lignocellulosic biomass, and comparatively that one grows on little land and needs little energy and resources, and it's also pretty widespread and abundant. Third generation refers to algae, and that one needs pretty minimal energy and nutrient needs, and even compared to second generation feedstocks, it grows much faster. So the objectives of this article is really the development of sustainable catalytic processes, demonstrating the effectiveness of metal-based catalysts, aligning the catalytic transformation methods with green chemistry principles, so the principles we had been discussing earlier, as well as exploring product selectivity and reaction efficiency. So here we have the first reaction scheme, which is preparing some important carbohydrate-derived renewable solvents into these various products in green that you can kind of see here. Let me move my face out of the way so you can see. So we have MTHF, DMTHF, and various other ones. And the things that we're really looking out for here are, is it low cost? Is the toxicity levels pretty low? Is it sustainable? And is it efficient? So we also have reaction scheme 2 here, and you can see how cellulose is being prepared into this intermediate that can then be converted via nucleophilic substitution into various products, which have shown to have increased reactivity as well as better functionality and better stability and better and easier storability. We also have reaction scheme 3 here, which is showing the biorenewable synthesis of ADA here. And you can kind of see the pattern, converting these starting materials into more green chemistry adhering products. We have reaction scheme 5, which showing here is petroleum being converted into BPA and cellulose being converted into DPA, and comparatively DPA is much better. BPA is shown to have adverse health effects, and here I'll move over so you can see here. DPA is also shown to be much safer, more efficient, and more sustainable. Then reaction scheme 6, again, you notice a pattern, right? Glucose is being converted into intermediate LAC into these more green chemistry adhering products. Again here, same thing. The usage of dehydration and hydrogenation reactions are causing these green chemistry products. And now we're going to go ahead and take it to Sol, who's going to be explaining the experimental methods.
Now, as for the methods, in the study, Duda outlines a wide range of catalytic methods for transforming biomass-derived carbohydrates into renewable chemicals, with a focus on aligning with green chemistry principles. The catalytic systems used both Bronsted acids and Lewis acidic metal chlorides, such as iron chloride and aluminum chloride, which promote key reactions like dehydration and hydrolysis. The carbohydrate feedstocks range from simple sugars like glucose and fructose to more complex sources like cellulose and chitin. For example, glucose is often isomerized to fructose before being dehydrated to form 5-hydroxymethylfurfural or HMF. Polar product solvents like DMSO and THF are used to enhance solubility and reactivity, though greener alternatives like ionic liquids and DESS are also explored for better sustainability. The reaction conditions are initially mild, typically between 80 to 140 Celsius, which helps prevent catalyst stability and reduce energy input. And finally, the key reaction pathways include dehydration to form furanics like HMF, hydrogenolysis to break CO bonds, and oxidation to introduce new functionalities, which are all essential for converting biomass into useful platform chemicals. Now onto the data. Data provides performance metrics that highlight the efficiency of these catalytic systems. So, for example, when glucose or fructose is converted to HMF under optimized conditions with FeCl3, yields can reach up to 80%, which is impressive for biomass conversion. And similarly, La produced from cellulose via rehydration of HMF shows yields as high as 60 to 70%, particularly under flow reactor setups like the biofilm process. And among catalysts tested, FeCl3 consistently outperformed AlCl3 in both activity and product selectivity. So this makes it a strong candidate for industrial applications where both yield and efficiency matter. The study also emphasizes the importance of green chemistry metrics such as atom economy, which is high for dehydration reactions, and E factor, which remains low thanks to minimized waste and use of recyclable solvents. Duda even includes life cycle assessment and techno-economic analysis and considerations, reinforcing the claim that these processes are not just efficient in the lab, but potentially scalable and commercially viable. And in summary, the data supports the idea that with the right catalyst and conditions, carbohydrates can be transformed into valuable platform chemicals in a way that is both efficient and environmentally responsible.
So for the result interpretation, it went over a lot of different types of ways to make achievable carbon emission goals. They focused mostly on the seventh principle and ninth principle of green chemistry. The seventh principle focuses on the feedstock and focused on the second generation, which was the non-food lignocellulosic biomass, and the third generation, which is the alkyl biomass. They focus on these two primarily because of food security and sustainability. From doing this, it would help achieve carbon emission goals. With the ninth principle, it focused on the catalysts. Catalysts lower activation energy, and they've differentiated between homogeneous and heterogeneous. Between the two, heterogeneous is more efficient because it offers advantages in isolation and purification. And from there, they could study the mechanisms easily. Yes, even though the homogeneous catalysts do require a milder reaction, it is harder to separate. That's why because heterogeneous catalysts are able to separate easily in the lab, it would cost less to study. And then with optimizing process design and efficiency, with the one-pot synthesis, it focuses on solvent innovations by reducing or eliminating hazards. From there could be best for sustainability, such as using reactants such as water. For the significance and future application, because they want to focus more on second generation and third generation, mainly third generation, because it's easier to grow with alkyl biomass. They want to be able to have biorenewable solvents. And when they're able to do that, they could feed the first generation, which is food, the food that we grow and use. And even from there, they could also replace petroleum-derived products. From doing that, it would remove oxidation steps, and because it caused less mechanisms, it would cause less pollution. Going back again for biorenewable solvents, by using levulinic acid derivatives, it could be examined as potential diesel additives. And just to wrap things up, from this article, they just mainly want to improve waste management by converting cellulosic biomass. By LCA and TEA, it'll be crucial for successfully operating a carbohydrate level for it to be focused in a local level. By using green chemistry as the key role of sustainability, there is a limit. That's why they need to use another discipline of science, such as engineering, to understand the links of what they could do to grow, such as the third generation of carbohydrates and the second generation. So there's still a lot to be done, but from here, they're able to understand more, another step closer for sustainable energy through green chemistry.